You know what I never understood about college, right? You know, college is cool and all. You go away and you make a bunch of friends, you have new experiences, you get an education, all that hot shit, right? But I never understood, like, the living arrangements when you live on campus, right? And don't get me wrong, there's some universities whose, you know, when it comes to living on campus, they take you know, pretty good care of their students. But like, there's some there are some fucking colleges, dude, who like some of the dorms are just awful, and it's sometimes it's the building, sometimes it's the state of the building. Um, I have never. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's the people. I've never really been a fan of like, you know, putting two people in one fucking room. Putting two. Like I've never been a fan of like dorming with like two motherfuckers. Two dudes in one fucking room. You probably don't even know the motherfucker either. Like, you got that whole ordeal. You got loud ass fucking roommates. That whole shebang, right? So at my school, I live in like this little like apartment, like it's like apartment like dorm set, So like I have my own room. Like there's no one in here. So I'm good. And it was like this last year too. But like some of the traditional dorms on on my school's campus, like I've heard horror stories. You know what I mean? I have this one friend who was telling me a few weeks ago that he basically like, he hates being in his room. Like, he goes there to sleep. He gets up, he goes to class, and he basically spends the rest of his time of the day outside of his room. He says his roommate is too loud with video games. You know, his fucking, I guess he got some buddies that's like next door to him that are loud as fuck for no reason, you know, making obnoxious ass noises and shit. And I, living on campus for him, this is his first year, but it just hasn't been the best. And I always wondered. We all know that college isn't even the cheapest fucking schools in the country aren't necessarily cheap. You know what I mean? They're cheap compared to, you know, Drexel and Harvard and Penn State and all these other big ass schools. But like, they're not cheap. Like, it's not like you going to go and get a motherfucker. It's not like you filling up your fucking tank, or buying groceries or some shit. Like you're dishing out thousands of dollars. I always wondered, how come we send ourselves and our kids, and or our kids to college? You pay all this money, and you don't even really. Some cases, you might not even like the living arrangements. You know what I mean? Like I said, I have it pretty good. I have this apartment dorm room apartment thing. You know, and I've been here. I was here last year too, and I like it here. I want to be here next year as well. If I'm not living off campus somewhere, but like, I don't know. I went in one of the traditional dorms last year. It's loud, man. Those rooms aren't necessarily big. You know, I don't know how those motherfuckers sleep. You got somebody screaming in your motherfucking ear. If it's not the dude next to you, it's your motherfucking roommate himself. You know what I mean? Hallways loud as fuck. I can't. I don't know how somebody can spend so much fucking money just for you to go to school and be completely annoyed by, the just loudness that's on campus. Don't get me wrong, living on campus is great. Being away from home, allowing yourself to grow, allowing yourself to find yourself, that's always good. But I always wondered, we pay all this money to these schools, but some of the living arrangements, and it's mainly for students who just get here, like freshmen and transfer students. Some of these students really, like, some of these, excuse me, not students, some of these living arrangements really are bad. You know what I mean? Like they're, like I said, if it's not the fucking building that has, you know, no fucking AC, or, you know, mold or some fucking bullshit, or it's just old. There's this one building here that looks like the fucking projects. You know what I mean? Like thousands of fucking dollars, and the building looks like, it looks like the projects. It looks like a building out of fucking Newark or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's bullshit. You know. It's just, it's crazy. And then what makes it worse is, like, you see some freshmen, some schools, they don't even allow freshmen to have cars. What the fuck is up with that? So not only are you giving me your shittiest living arrangement that you have as a freshman, you're giving me your shittiest living arrangement. Depending on where I go, now I can't have my own fucking car. I can't have my car with me on campus. Like, just fucking tell me you want me to be miserable my first year then. It's like, damn. You know what I mean? And then it's crazy. You know, I've heard some stories about people going through shit, you know, going through, like, mental shit when, like, when they get in college for the first year. And I think that plays a huge role. You know, loud ass fucking, like I said, if the fucking dorm ain't loud as fuck, the building fucking sucks. And then on top of that, I can't even fucking have my car. So I can't even have that little bit of fucking privacy. I can maybe go and, you know, I don't know about you motherfuckers, but there's been times when I use my fucking car as therapy. You know what I mean? Get in that motherfucker, scream at the top of my lungs, go on a little drive, blast the fucking mute. I got a fucking exam tomorrow, or the next day, or the day after that. I need to go and, you know, release some fucking stress on the highway, go take a stroll to Target. I can't fucking do that shit because these motherfuckers don't allow you to have a car on campus. Now, I go to Kutztown. Kutztown doesn't fucking allow that. Like, you can have a car on campus, you know, as a freshman. So, but like, there's some schools that don't allow that, and I don't fucking get it. So, it's weird as fuck.